So, your clothes are smelling sour. What should you do next? It is quite simple really. All we need is some distilled white vinegar as well as optionally some baking soda. Now, you see the reason your clothes are smelling sour there are a lot of different reasons, but as you probably have noticed, it's often your gym clothes, synthetics, or your towels that are starting to smell sour. So let me just show you how to fix this right away. And then after that, I'll show you how to prevent this from happening again in the future. What we need to do first of all is that we need to load our washing machine like we usually do, like so. So I'm just gonna close this up here. So here comes the cool part. We're gonna use distilled white vinegar. This one is 5%. Distilled white vinegar is a great cleaning product. It's also really effective at neutralizing odors. However, we can't mix this together with our regular detergent. So what we're gonna do instead is that we're gonna add the white vinegar to the slot where we usually put fabric softener here. If you have a top loader or one that you need to load with fabric softener and detergent manually, you want to put the white vinegar after you're done with the detergent. For these ones, I'm just gonna load it directly in here. And I would say you should put at least a good cupful, depending on how large your load is. But it's really hard to go wrong with this. Besides that, we're also going to use detergent in here. We're going to use some regular detergent. I'm just going to use these sheets that I've been using recently. It's much easier to measure them up. That could be one of the reasons why your clothes are smelling really bad as well, because either you use too much detergent or you use too little detergent. But we'll talk about that later. So I'm going to add this laundry detergent into the slot marked number 2 here. Now, if you have hard water, what you could consider is adding a little bit of baking soda. Baking soda really softens up your water and helps clean the clothes more thoroughly. Hey, this is Tor sitting here and editing this video. I noticed I didn't mention that you should add the baking soda together in the same slot in the tray as you put your detergent. You don't want to add it to the slot where you had vinegar, as vinegar really doesn't interact well with them. You don't want to go overboard with this, but I would say you could easily go at least a couple of tablespoons. Let's say maximum 2 for this. Now that we've loaded up the washing machine, we're going to close up the tray here and we're going to turn it on. Alright, so now that we have turned on the washing machine, loaded it with clothes and cleaning products, what we're going to do is pick a cycle if we have one available on our washing machine. I'm just going to do a delicate cycle because that's the most gentle one I have on this machine besides wool. This of course depends on which garment you're going to wash. So if you have towels, you can definitely do a cotton cycle as well. For these synthetics, they're a little bit more delicate. So again, for temperature here, you want to go as high as your garments allows for. These are mostly synthetic, so I'm going to go 30 degrees. That's about as high as you want to go with synthetics. If you have towels or cotton that you're washing, you could probably go all the way up to 60 degrees Celsius or this much in Fahrenheit. And this high temperature is really going to help neutralize that horrible smell that you have on your clothes. So from here we just started. I want to make this very clear. Once the clothes are done washing, what you want to do is take them out right away. And you want to either put them in your dryer and dry them, or you can hang them outside in the sun as well. That's really effective. The big thing here is that you don't want to leave the clothes laying inside the washing machine wet, because frankly that's probably one of the biggest reasons why your clothes are smelling sour in the first place. Hang them out to dry them in the sun, that's the best thing you can do. That's even going to help further kill off the bacteria. If your clothes still smell sour, it's probably because either your washing machine is dirty. In that case, I have made a huge video that you can check out next. But if you just want a quick tip, what I would do in that case is put vinegar in the fabric softener slot, as well as probably a full cup of baking soda in the washing machine slot. Crank the washing machine up to the highest temperature and run a wash. Also, once you're done washing clothes, you want to leave the door here, as well as this little tray a little bit open. That way it gets to breathe. The washing machine can get a lot of buildup of mold. If you leave it shut, you know, it gets very damp in there. So definitely leave the washing machine open whenever possible. All right, so now that we've covered how to fix this problem, let's talk about how you prevent it from happening again in the future. So like I mentioned earlier, the clothes sitting together damp is really going to cause that smell, especially if you forget the clothes or something overnight. I know we've all been there. That's going to cause that smell. Also, if you leave the clothes in the hamper while they're already pretty damp, that can cause that nasty sour smell building up while the dirty laundry is in the hamper. In that case, you probably want to dry up the clothes before you throw them into the hamper, just so that you prevent this from happening. Also, what can happen is if you have one garment that already smells and you stuff it together with another garment that's not smelling, that smell is going to rub off on the clean garment. This is particularly a big problem with gym bags. I don't know if you have a gym bag and you take it home full of sweaty clothes and then you kind of forget it for a few hours and then you open the gym bag and all the clothes are smelling horrible, right? You can fix that by bringing a plastic bag and putting all the dirty clothes into the plastic bag, tie it up, take it home and dry the clothes, or wash them directly, of course. Another thing that people make a huge mistake with is that they actually fold the clothes up before they're fully dry. So if the clothes are still a little bit damp when you start to fold them up, the same problem is going to happen. It's going to get pressed together, all the dampness, and there is going to build up that sour smell. So definitely make sure your clothes are fully dry before you fold them up as well. Other reasons, if you've tried washing the clothes before and you're not able to get out that sour smell, probably using too little detergent or too much detergent. Usually you can find how much detergent you actually need at the back of your detergent container. It's not usually a problem that people use too little. People are usually overloading their washer with detergent. It can cause kind of a gunky layer on the clothes. The same goes with fabric softener. And frankly, if you're washing synthetic garments, you shouldn't use fabric softener in the first place, as it really doesn't interact well with the synthetic garments. What you may want to do instead is just switch over to that white vinegar that I've used in this video. That works great for removing odor as well. You don't get that nice fabric softener smell when you use vinegar. But to be honest with you, if you use fabric softener, sometimes what can happen is that you get this layer of fabric softener on top of the garments that kind of locks in that smell. And then you have the smell of the fabric softener that kind of masks the smell itself. So what happens when you start wearing the clothes again? After a little bit, you will start to notice that the smell is still there. It's just been masked by the fabric softener. So definitely be careful with that. Besides that, there is overloading the washing machine. You want to be careful that you don't fill the washing machine to over capacity. That can also cause the clothes, they're not able to move around well. And also the detergent doesn't get in there properly. It doesn't get washed out properly. I've made a video in the past on how full you should load your washing machine that you can check out. Besides that, I think it's just temperature that could be a problem, if not any of these other things in your washer. Generally, I'm a big fan of cold water washes, but if you have this problem with smelly clothes, you should try to wash the clothes a little bit hotter. Perhaps test to put them to the highest capacity. You know, sometimes you need to check the tags on your garments before you actually do the washing to make sure you don't damage them. But like cotton t-shirts, probably 40 degrees Celsius. Synthetics, I would say you could go up to 30 degrees Celsius. Towels, which is also a big problem, 60 like I mentioned. Now that's pretty much all the reasons why your clothes are smelling bad, besides your dryer having a problem. So if you've tried all these things and that smell is still there, it's going to be your dryer that is the problem. A good way to check if it is your dryer is of course hanging your clothes to dry instead of using the dryer. If it is the dryer itself, you should check your lint filter as that gets backed up there. Otherwise, perhaps you have a very old dryer that's just kind of on its last leg there. Definitely check out the lint filter though, first of all. That can be dangerous as well if you let it fill up too much with lint. Fire hazard. So I tried to structure this video a little bit differently by giving you the answer first and then covering the causes. Do you prefer it this way or do you prefer the old way where I talk about how to prevent it first and then give you the answers? I'd love to know in the comment. And as always, I have a bunch more videos on this channel about folding clothes, doing laundry, cleaning in general. So if you're into that, definitely consider subscribing. And yeah, thanks for watching this one and I'll see you in the next one.